Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer and today I'm gamesplaining Tiny Towns. So it's been a year since my original gamesplain of Tiny Towns. What do I think of it? Do I still like it? Have I even played it? I'm glad you asked. Once again, this is a title that has not managed to find its way back to my table. I don't know why. I just had a quick look at it and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this game. I remember really liking this one. I don't know why it hasn't made it back. It plays up to 6 players, which is usually a game that's going to hit my wheelhouse simply because that's usually on the larger side of players that I've got at the table. There's a heck of a lot of thinking involved in this, and I'm wondering if it hasn't made it back to the table simply because of the lot of thinking. So what I find with it is that some people really like this style of play where you need to kind of choose which colors to put down and you're making shapes and you're turning those shapes into something else, into a type of building. Some people really dig that way of play. However, some people really dislike that way of play. And I fear that this is one of those games that has very polarizing opinions on it. Most people I find have really liked it and it's sitting quite highly rated on Board Game Geek and with other reviewers, etc. The whole essence of the game works really nicely. Sometimes it's going to work really well, sometimes not quite as well, depending on what type of thing you're trying to do. I've found that if there's someone else at the table who's working on the same things that you're working on, you're probably going to do better because they will be choosing the colors that you need as opposed to choosing their own colors. But everyone has their own personal thing that they're working on too. And so that changes what people are going to be going after. And so you may end up in spaces where you just can't put in the colors you specifically want. And so therefore you're kind of stuck with this, oh, I've got to do this kind of action. There are also different cards that are going to come out and they will cause the buildings to be different things. And so each game you play is going to be different to the last game, even though it feels like it could be about the same. I believe that there was a expansion that's come out relatively recently that adds some extra stuff to it. And look, I always like stuff being added. I didn't get the expansion simply because I haven't played the game. I fear this is one that should be back on the table, and I'll probably try and get it back to the table as soon as I'm able to play with a vast majority of people again. But look, I'll leave it there for the moment. If you have not seen my gameplay or Gamesplanation for Tiny Towns, please go ahead and watch them. Have a reminder of how the game plays and what happens with it, and get a good feel for it. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you would like to be gamesplained, please shoot me an email to thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter @thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games that I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.